Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Today we're going to be chatting some stories, some memories, and I hope you guys enjoy that while I put on my face and using only Drugstore, and a lot of it is brand new Drugstore. What the heck is going on here? You know what's going on here. You know what this is. It's my Halloween costume. No, I just wanted to mask before I got started. So this is a refilm. The first video I had to scrap because it was over an hour and 38 minutes long because Intelligent Girl here decided I needed to come in here right out of the shower with wet hair, no skincare done or anything, and just take you through it all. And during that, I'm also running my mouth, telling you stories, giving you product reviews, because a lot of this is brand new stuff. And it was all over the place, confusing, so long. Anyway, shout out to Kim Arnold. She's a Hoosier. Remember that video? And I was talking about Sammy Terry. And, Hoosiers would know this. The rest of you that don't live in Indiana or didn't grow up here anyway wouldn't necessarily know about Sammy Terry because it was a local thing, local Channel 4. Kim brought up Popeye and Janie, which is a big part of any Hoosier child's growing up. So you know Popeye, right? But I'm sure in your state you had something that was similar. Now this is a new product from L'Oreal. It's part of their summer collection, and I picked up 3 items from it. I picked up this and an eye, one of those infallible ones that are creamy, and you put the little saucer in it and twist it tight. It's a cream shadow. I picked up one of those. The reason I'm telling you that instead of showing you is because I took it back. It was dried out. And in the video, you could see I was having trouble with it because it was dried out. And I also picked up one of their lip glosses for the summer. It was called Sunday Fun Day. I took it back. It was pretty. But the smell of it, yuck. It smelled like maraschino cherries to me. And I don't like those. So I couldn't get past the smell and took that back. But I did keep this. I really like it. As you can see, all it does is give a little glow, just a little extra shimmer. And before I get on to this story, this is a brand I've never tried before. This is Almay. And I've never tried Almay or Neutrogena Mega. I've tried Neutrogena skin stuff, but never their makeup. And Penny from Penn Smith Skincare, she talked about 2 products I've got here today. This one and this Neutrogena eyeshadow. And I wanted to see, and in the other video we were doing it live. I've of course used them now, so I like them. Anything I'm showing you today, I kept, didn't take back. But I will mention the things I did take back. But this here reminds me of the L'Oreal BB cream. It comes out white. See? It comes out like this, white. And when you put it on your skin, it changes color to match your skin tone. And I do rather like this. This is just really good if you just want a light covering. It could be a really light foundation, but I tend to think of it more as a BB cream. It didn't cover up any hyperpigmentation or anything. It just kind of evens things out a little bit, So it'd be really good if you just wanted to run to the store and you didn't want to get all made up. I really like this for that. There used to be cartoons with a host here. One of them was Popeye and Janie, and then the other was Cowboy Bob. And I don't know the particulars. I can't remember when they were on. I just remember that I used to watch them. Maybe one of you who are from around here would remember more exactly what it was, the circumstance. But I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, she was encouraging children to raise money for the March of Dimes. You could do different things. One of the things was, you could have a little carnival in your neighborhood, and that's what we were gonna do. Me and my brother, we were gonna have this carnival, right? We were gonna make all of these not rides, but games that over here you can play this game, a beanbag toss with the toss across. Remember toss across? You can bowl over here, and of course we're going to sell tickets to the neighborhood kids to do this. This is the e.l.f. Concealer. I think they have another one, and I'm probably going to regret using this one today because it's See, it's not the right shade. Let's get that off. All I did was make that worse. Okay, hang on. Instead, we're gonna try mixing a couple because this one I'm fairly certain is still too dark, and this one is, I'm sure, going to be too light, so we'll mix them together. What we had decided to do was, with the neighbor boy, this was one of these kids that just went along, you know? I mean, he would do whatever you said to do, and we weren't malicious kids, you know, we weren't bad. We just didn't think, right? So we decide that what we're going to do is, he liked the way I just went in there without even knowing if that was going to work. What we decided we would do was have a carnival in his backyard. And, well, naturally, we need snacks now, right? I think his mom might have been taking a nap, or I don't know what the circumstance was. She could have been over at the neighbor lady's house because, you know, back then, the neighbors all knew each other, you know. It was nothing for them to stand over the fence and talk with each other. But she wasn't where we were, that's for sure. Because we drug their refrigerator out to the backyard. They had just gone to the store. And they were fully stocked with goodies now. And when I say goodies, I mean stuff my mom wouldn't buy. My mom bought wholesome, healthy food for us. She didn't, you know, we weren't deprived by any means, but my mom she wasn't June Cleaver. This little elf powder. It's really fine white powder that does a pretty good job of setting under the eye, if you can believe that. You got to be real sparse with this, right? So I just get it all up inside this brush and knock it off really good. Then I come to my hand, knock it off some more, and then I just tap a little bit, you know. I'm very, very sparse with powder under my eyes. Let's just go ahead and do that up here too. Anyway, so his mom wasn't there, and the three of us decided that we needed snacks to sell at our carnival, and that would raise more money for the March of Dimes. And so we pulled this refrigerator out, not into the yard, but like scooted it to the back door. So that when the back door was open, you could just open it up and sell popsicles, and, you know, that we had their chips, we had their sodas, we had everything in the yard, and we were selling these, right, for the March of Dimes kids. We put a huge dent into their supply of food for the week. And when she discovered what the heck was going on and what had happened, the damage had already been done, and he got into a lot of trouble. And then when my mom found out about it, we got into a lot of trouble. Because, I mean, do you guys remember? This was back in the day when it was okay to spank your kid. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I don't mean, you know, a beating. I'm talking about a whipping. And I'm sure anybody watching this who is my age understands the difference. Anyway, so that boy, he was just one of these kids, you know, that was just easy going. Just, yeah, okay. It was really easy to talk him into stuff. And like I said, we weren't, you know, trying to be mean, or, you know, we weren't bullies and mean kids. We just weren't thinking somebody paid for this food and we're eating it all. Everything that Penn said about this is the truth. It is so good. This is such a good thing. Oh, my complaint is they have all kinds of boring. These are the only shades they have. Variations of browns. Or at least that's all I can find. They work really well just as a one shadow. I mean, you could go start at your lid and come up, and it's perfectly fine to do that. We're not gonna, because you know I'm extra. I wouldn't get to try anything else if that's all we did, but yeah, I do really like these. So if you are hunting a one and done shadow, and you like browns and mauvey tones, then this is really good. Anyway, she was one of the moms in the development that didn't punish other people's kids. It wasn't unusual for another parents, you know, like your friends' parents, to punish you just like your own parent did. And they'd say, you tell your mom I spanked your butt. You wouldn't have dared go home and go, Stacy's mom whipped me. Because then your mom would be like, what'd you do? And then you get another whipping, right? So, you know. You just learn your lesson. Changing times. So many things have changed through the years. And I don't know, not necessarily for the better. I like the conveniences that we have now in our life, but they come at a cost. We have lost, I think, a better era. I was telling my son the other day, you know, about how things are different, you know. And I told him about Stacy's mom who whipped my butt because, you know, he has never had a whipping. He was a perfect child. He really was. This is a new bronzer from Wet n Wild called Sunset Striptease. But I don't know that it's new, you know, because it was there with Ticket to Brazil and stuff. I think that maybe it's a new shade. I don't know. You tell me. But it's new to me anyway. I just know that Ticket to Brazil was there. So I'm going to try not to go too heavy because it's easy to do, especially if you're real pale like me. I also picked up this blush from Almay, and like I said before, I've never had stuff from Almay, so I really like this blush. But I took the lipstick I got back. So they have these lipsticks, I'm sure you've seen them, and they are in these pretty lipstick, they got like flowers and stuff on them, cases. And I had heard that they were really good, so I got some. Now, I don't know if it was the shade I got or if I got a bad one, but I took that back because it went into, it was like more like a balm, and it like settled into the lines of my lips. You know how that is when you get a lipstick and it settles into your lines, but it leaves the rest of your lip, so you just got these lines of lip color. That's what was going on with that lipstick, and I tried to wear it a couple of times and finally said, no, I'm not going to keep another lipstick that I'm not going to wear. But I really like this blush. It's so pretty and faint. Anyway, so that wasn't the last thing that we did like that to that boy. But I'll tell you what. My mom said that she talked to a neighbor who said that he grew up to be pretty darn well off. And probably he learned some life lessons from us. But, you know, truth be told, that would have never happened at our house. Okay, because some of my friends, their parents both worked. A few of my friends, or the ones that I wanted to like emulate or be like or do what they were doing, their parents were divorced. Okay, and dang it, my parents wouldn't get a divorce. I wanted that because I didn't want this for long. Don't think I'm horrible, but see, my friends, they got by with things I never would get by with because their mom and dad weren't both there. I picked up a few of these. I'll talk to you more about these later, but I am going to use it a little bit in conjunction with this Neutrogena. My friends, they got by with stuff that I could never get by with. You know, they got to do things, hang out together, do some things that I wasn't allowed to do, or no kid should be allowed to do, but there was no parental supervision there. So, you know, they were getting by with doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing. And I couldn't. Darn it, I couldn't even get a Yumbo. I know you want to know about that, right? But, you know, my mom didn't work. She stayed home with us. My dad worked. My mom stayed home. And, you know, as I got to be an adult, I understood that I wasn't in baton twirling solely because they wanted me to learn grace and poise. It worked real well, right? You see me clod hopping around here all the time. But I really did learn grace and poise through twirling baton. But I think it had more to do with keeping us busy, because if the kids are busy, they ain't got time to get into trouble. And when you're taking baton lessons once a week, you're practicing after school every day for like an hour, and then you've got competitions on the weekend. My brother's in baseball league, and we have to go to ball games, and you know, all the stuff that you do not have time to get into the trouble that my friends were getting into. They were getting into lots of trouble. As an adult, of course, I appreciate that my parents stayed together and that all of these things that I went through were good things. But back then, no, I wanted to do what my friends were doing. And I mean, we couldn't even go to the mall and get a Yumbo. And by that, what I mean is Burger King, I guess they come out with it again. They've brought back the Yumbo, but it's not like I remember it. Here's a fun Fritzy fact for you. In December of 2014, when the Yumbo was brought back by Burger King as a nostalgic blast from the past menu item, people began arguing on social media, according to Snopes, that there was no such thing as this sandwich, which was discontinued in 1974. An explanation was reached because of a 2013 poll that showed that the age group that was primarily using social media at the time was between the ages of 18 and 29, and that they couldn't possibly remember a sandwich that only people over the age of 50 would know about. So tell me, do you, like me, also remember the Yumbo and can witness to its existence? Back then, we'd walk everywhere. My mom, at that time, she smoked. She hasn't smoked for 30-some years. But back then she did, like everybody else. And you could buy cigarettes. Like, you didn't have to be a certain age. Because I can remember walking to the Magic Market and picking up cigarettes for my mom. And she'd give us $1, and the cigarettes were 55 cents. And she'd give us $1, and then we would get her a pack of cigarettes, and then we could spend the rest on candy. But, you know, you wouldn't maybe necessarily today let your kids, I mean, I know you can't give your kids money and let them go get you cigarettes anymore. But you may not necessarily think that it's a safe enough environment now to just turn your kids loose and let them run like we were allowed to. I mean, I can remember staying out until really dark, you know, and not that you did, but you could spend the night on the street corner underneath the street lamp. Just hang out there and stay out there all night if you wanted, and nobody would do anything to you. So we probably lived, I don't know, 3 miles from the mall. This is that mall that I always take you guys to and show you whenever in my vlogs when I go over to the mall. This is that mall, except back then that mall wasn't an indoor mall. It wasn't a strip mall. It was just, you know, a mall that was outside. All the doors went outside, and there were fountains and stuff, you know, and there was like individual stores that were around it, like Woolco and Woolworth and Zayre and, you know, Airway. Remember this stuff? Me and my friends, we walk over to the mall, and there was this place called Funway Freeway, which outside there is where Shy Guy gave me my first kiss. But we would go over there to that mall and spend the day. Get in trouble for jumping in the fountains and, you know. What I'm getting at is this Yumbo. So in order to get to the mall, you had to pass the Burger King, and they had a sandwich called the Yumbo. I would get into trouble because Mom would be like making stinky old pot roast with potatoes and gravy and stuff, corn on the cob or whatever. And I wanted the Yumbo. Mom would be like, don't get a Yumbo. And I'd try to sneak it. She'd know because I didn't want to eat dinner then. Mom knew that this stuff wasn't good for me. She didn't want me to eat that. I mean, it wasn't a common thing back then to go out to eat at the, you know, McDonald's or the Burger Chef. Remember Burger Chef? Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe Burger Chef was just an Indiana thing, because I know it was from Indiana. But, you know, sound off below if you remember Burger Chef and Burger Chef and Jeff. I would get into trouble for that. My friends, they were doing it, you know, but they didn't have a mom at home who was cooking their food, who was giving them a traditional dinner. We didn't eat like that. Mom made food for us, and she expected us to eat it. This is new. I have heard Emily Noel talk about this e.l.f. eyebrow pencil for so dang long that I thought, all right, I am giving this thing a shot. Yeah, she's got these big, thick eyebrows, right? And it's not going to work for me if I have to draw on anything at all because of this big, fat point on here. But you know what? This is a good eyebrow pencil for me, too. So if you had those same thoughts, it works. And you just have to go lightly, all right? And that's what I'm going to do. Just barely hold it way back here at the end and just go lightly at the front if you have to draw in some brows. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about that I would get busted for, you know. Things that my friends were getting to do that I couldn't do. That carnival with the March of Dimes thing, that would have never happened at my house because my mom was there and present. Now, of course, I appreciate that I came from that. Sound off below. Did your parents stay married during your childhood? Did you have a childhood like mine? Or were you like my friends and you were like out having your freedom, doing what you want, getting to eat all the bad food when no one was around and stuff? You tell me. Sound off below and let me know. You know, speaking of the mall, on Instagram not too long ago, I was showing you guys that our Sears is closed down. I'm so sad about that. I really am, because that is the last thing left around here from when I was a kid. I'm sure you guys are the same. When you go down the road and you look at the things around you and you remember, if you live in your hometown, this didn't used to be there. This Lowe's wasn't there. There was a Guy Doan's grocery store, and it was shaped like a castle on the outside. The other day I was watching The Outsiders. Of course, they're at the drive-in, and this is a foreign concept to, say, my son, because they were all gone before he arrived. I miss the drive-in so much. Nowadays, we just kind of, plop down in front of Netflix. I'm sure, how many of you here don't have Netflix? Let me know. I'm curious to know if you don't have Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, the other day, this show caught my attention. It's called Riverdale. I stopped before season 1 was over because it's just it's reminded me of Pretty Little Liars. Did you ever see that? I'm getting ready to crimp my eyelashes. If you don't like that, look away. But I started watching it because I thought, Riverdale? Wait a minute. And then I read on it, and it's like the Archies. Remember the Archies? Not like they were in the comics. No, nothing like that at all. I don't want to give it away for anybody who's not seen it and maybe wants to check it out. And I'm not saying it's a terrible show. It's just definitely not what I thought that it was going to be. Here's the thing, though. What was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid? What was your favorite Saturday morning? I should clarify. I'm talking about Saturday morning cartoons, because you got Scooby-Doo and different things that you would watch on Saturday morning, and the Archies, and my favorite cartoon was Josie and the Pussycats. Now, there is a Josie and the Pussycats in this show, Riverdale. So, I went back and forth wanting to be all of them. Josie played a guitar and she sang. And Valerie was a woman of color with an afro, and she played the tambourine. Melanie was a dumb blonde on the drums, remember? They're just kind of changing everything up. Yeah, I didn't like that much. But do you guys remember Josie and the Pussycats? Oh, remember this. I saw this at the drugstore, and I thought, I'm going to get this and see if I like it. Now that I've had all these mascaras and stuff, and ooh, I didn't put any shadow underneath there. I need to do that first. So I picked up this for old time's sake, because I remember that my mom wore that mascara, and so I got it when I was younger. I got it too. Let's go under here with this. I got that mascara too, and I would always buy that mascara. I think the last time I wore it was in the 80s. Don't you know? This is still a great lash. It's a great mascara. Still, I really, really like it. But it made me start thinking about OG products that we used to use. Do you still? Where are they? I was talking with a couple of you here about Pond's cold cream. And I thought, I used to take my makeup off with that every night. Put it all over my face, let it dissolve a little bit, then I'd take a tissue and wipe it off. And then actually, I would go to bed after that. I remember my girlfriends, before I could wear mascara and stuff to school, I wasn't allowed to. My friends did. Darn it, they had parents that weren't paying attention. I remember going to my mom when I was I think I was 12. Wanted to wear makeup, and I'm like, but Mom, everybody's wearing makeup. And she's like, who's everybody? Cindy? Who else? Really, it's just Cindy, but everybody's doing it. Well, my girlfriends, I would go over to their house in the morning to catch the bus. While I would be over there, she'd be getting ready for school, and she had this CoverGirl blush. I'll try and find a picture of this blush that I could not wait to wear. When I get to where I'm allowed to wear makeup, I'm getting that, and she would smear that all over her face. Her whole side of her face would be all red with the blush. She just wore way too much of it. And, but I couldn't wait to do that. By the time that I could get this blush, it was gone. They didn't have it anymore. I thought I would name off a few products that I got to thinking about and see if you guys can name off products also. I won't name off a lot because that won't leave any for you. But How about 1006? Do you guys remember 1006? Astringent. What about Sea Breeze? Remember Sea Breeze? Maxima Herbal Essence Shampoo. Flex. Final Net Hairspray. Aqua. My gosh, I lived in that Aqua hairspray because that stuff would hold now, and my mom would get me ready for competition. And what about Love's Baby Soft? Jean Nateg. Am I the only person who really messed up their hair with Sun In? Gosh, talk about orange. I had orange hair. Kissing Potion lip gloss. Remember that? I'm going to go do my hair. I'll be right back. Please leave me your OG products that you loved. Any stories you want to tell me about reminiscing from your childhood. I love to read them. Please leave them for me below. And I want you to know, if you don't already know, that you're the best part of the Fritzy family. Hope you guys have a great day. But if you're not having a blessed day, please go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya, bye, and I'm out.
Hello, everyone. This is Doubtfire. Hello. Remember she had that stuff on her face? Whatever. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, doo-doo, I live in a garbage can, doo-doo. That's not how that song goes. Shane, Leave that, but you gotta be real sparse. Real sparse. You gotta be real sparse with this powder. How about sparse? Which one's the magnification side? Whoa, stop spinning! Da 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 na 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 na. Get it? Green sleeve. Green sleeves. Don't say hi, honey. Bend down. Bend down. Say hi. Bend down. Get. No, 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 no. Oh, come here. Come here. Hold on. I have to go talk to him. Stop. What are you doing that for? Get out of the frame. Get. No. No. Stop.
I'm giving you plenty of.
I got a hair in my mouth. It's like a hairball. He's got a hairball too. I hear him coughing out there. We'll just take a little hair of the dog and wash that down. It's not hair of the dog, it's water. Just kidding. Anybody remember Nazareth? Now you're messing with a hair of the dog. I'm not going to say the real word. Okay, we have to take a time out while I remember what it was that we know. I'm drawing a blank. I guess it was nothing. We owe nothing. We know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Sugar, na 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 na. Oh, honey, honey, na 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 na. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Da 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 da. That's part of the Fritzy family. And if you're not, excuse me, sorry about that. Okay, I'm a real person. I belch. Burp. What's the difference between a belch and a burp? Aren't they the same?